Good evening, students. Some of you have expressed your problems related to the chapter Life Processes. Therefore, I have come up with this video to sort out your problems. Number one was molecular movement. Molecular movement is an essential characteristic feature of a living organism. This takes place within the cells. Actually, what happens, the particles, the molecules that travels from one part of the cell to another through the cytoplasm, or you can say from one cell organelle to another, in order to ensure that a particular function is performed, so that it determines the overall function of the cell taking place properly. So these number of movements which are taking place within the cell are together known as molecular movements, and these molecular movements are very important to assure that the cell is functioning. Let me give you an example. The newly synthesized proteins by the ribosomes, which are present on the surface of the rough endoplasmic reticulum, these newly synthesized proteins will enter into the Golgi complex for further processing, packaging and storage. So this movement will also be considered as a molecular movement. Similarly, there are several other products that are formed which has to go from one cell organelle to another. Is also molecular movement. Therefore, molecular movement is essential to ensure that the cell is functioning, and it can occur only when the organism is alive. Another major problem that I received from the students is what is light and dark reaction. Basically, light and dark reaction are the two different phases of photosynthesis. I hope that you all understand what is photosynthesis, as you can make out photo means light, synthesis means to prepare. That means when the producers, means the green plants, prepare the food with the help of different raw materials like carbon dioxide, water, sunlight and chlorophyll. They prepare their own food in the form of carbohydrate, glucose. This phenomena is known as photosynthesis. It occurs in two parts. Number one, light reaction, and number two, dark reaction. Light reaction is called so because it occurs in the presence of sunlight. Now there is usually a confusion that light reaction requires sunlight, therefore it is called light reaction, and the second one, dark reaction, which requires darkness, therefore it is known as dark reaction. So it is not like that. Dark reaction occurs in the absence of sunlight after evening period, and it doesn't require light, hence it is known as dark reaction. When you will study it in the higher class, you will come to know that light reaction, also known as photochemical phase, and the dark reaction is known as biochemical phase. So what happens in these light and dark reaction? Before that, I would like you all to refer to your NCERT textbook, where you will see that photosynthesis has got 3 to 4 main steps. Number one, absorption of sunlight. Number two, photolysis of water, which means breaking down of water. Photo means light, lysis means to break. So breakdown of water in the presence of sunlight is called photolysis of water. Then conversion of light energy into chemical energy, so that this chemical energy shall be further utilized for the next steps. And the last one is reduction of carbon dioxide. Now what happens in reduction of carbon dioxide? Hydrogen is added to it, which we get from water, and carbon dioxide gets reduced to form carbohydrate. This reduction is the same chemical reaction which you have studied in your chemistry first chapter. One of the types of reaction was redox reaction, which comes from oxidation and reduction. So that same reduction reaction is taking place here as well. So these were the steps of photosynthesis: absorption of sunlight, photolysis of water, conversion of light energy to chemical energy, and the fourth one was reduction of carbon dioxide to form carbohydrate. Now, how will you bifurcate into light and dark phase? Most of the steps occur during light reaction, that is in the presence of sunlight. The first one is absorption of sunlight. Now, who absorbs sunlight? It is the chlorophyll, the pigment which is present inside the leaves, inside the chloroplast. And inside the chloroplast, where the chloroplasts are present? In the grana. You remember grana? Okay, in the next video I will tell you about chloroplast and its structure, where you will understand clearly what is grana, what is stroma and other things. So this chlorophyll absorbs the sunlight. This sunlight will help in breaking down of the water by the process of photolysis of water. Then the light energy will also get converted into chemical energy to carry out the further steps. And lastly, the carbon dioxide will get reduced to form carbohydrate. Now this last step, that is reduction of CO2 to form glucose, will occur in the stroma. That is the biochemical phases occurring inside the stroma. And this occurs in the absence of sunlight. So this particular reaction, that is reduction of CO2 to form carbohydrate, is under the dark reaction. So under the light reaction you have got absorption of sunlight, photolysis of water, conversion of light energy to form chemical energy. And in the dark reaction you have got just one step, that is reduction of CO2 to form carbohydrates. So I hope that this light and dark reaction in brief is very clear to you. You all are in standard 10th, therefore much detail is not required. This is sufficient. In my next video, I will tell you about chloroplast, what is chloroplast, where it is located, and what are the different components of it, like what is grana, what is stroma, thylakoids, etc. Please let me know and give me a feedback that whether you have understood light reaction or dark reaction. If anything, any further clarification is required, I will be more than happy to help you out. Thank you.